Alright, so today we are here with Somers girls field hockey coach, Coach Scavelli. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And let's get started with your interview. So, first question is, what inspired you to become a field hockey coach?
So I've been playing field hockey since I was in second grade, and it's just kind of been in my life for a very long time. My older sister played, so I played all throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. And I've kind of just always felt like coaching was something that would fit my interests. In high school, I coached the younger kids. In college, I coached high school kids, and then when I graduated college, I went right into coaching when I came back home. So it's definitely something that I've always wanted to do and really love doing.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
how did you work up to your position today?
So as a Somers field hockey coach, I mentioned a little bit, but after college I came back to New York and I was an assistant coach at my alma mater at my high school, and then I switched my professional job as a social worker and started working here at the high school, and then they offered me the field hockey position as well. So this is my second season as the Somers varsity field hockey coach.
And for some of us that may not know, could you tell us some of the basics of field hockey?
Yeah, for sure. So field hockey in the U.S. is not well known, but across the world it's really popular. So across the world it's actually the third most popular sport based on like Olympic ratings when they look at how many people watch the game. So in the U.S. it's primarily a girl sport, but men do play. In other countries it's really popular, like the Netherlands. A lot of people are playing from the time they're really young. Two things about field hockey that most people don't know. One, the field hockey stick is flat on one side and round on the other, so you can only use the flat side of the stick. So unlike hockey where you can move the ball on both sides of your stick, field hockey you have to turn your stick over. And there's also only righties in field hockey, essentially. There's some lefties that play kind of backwards, but everybody plays with a right-handed stick in field hockey. That's the only ones they make. They don't make left-handed sticks.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you talked a little bit about starting in second grade and your older sister played. Do you have any other background when you started playing?
When I started playing, yeah, so I started playing at like a local camp that the town ran, and I would go to it from the time I was in second grade, and now I coach at it every year. But my sister played, so I've just always kind of been around it. And then I played in high school and I played in college, so it's been in my life for a long time.
And what town did you grow up in?
I grew up in Yorktown, but I went to Lakeland, so right down the road. Mm-hmm.
All right. How do you strategize and prepare your team for each game?
Yeah, so that's a big responsibility of a coach, is to prepare a team for a game. I watch local live, so I watch other teams to see how they play, to see how we would match up. And we spend a lot of time in practice going over our own formation and working on our own strengths to prepare for each game.
What about coaching do you enjoy the most?
What do I enjoy the most? I think when younger kids are learning the game, I really like to teach them about it, because a lot of kids know about other sports, but field hockey is usually a really new sport to a lot of families. So I love being able to show them, the rules of the game and how to play. And then at the high school level, I really love when athletes are working on a skill and they finally, are able to master that skill. So there's some mechanics that are different and specific to our sport. So when kids are able to, master getting a hit down or like a reverse chip or a specific skill, I find that really enjoyable when kids are able to succeed.
How would you describe your coaching style and how does it affect your team?
I think my coaching style, my background as a profession is a social worker, so I feel like they kind of mend together, my coaching style as a coach and as a social worker. But I think my style is, sports are a part of life and they can help us to grow. So when you're on the field, there's going to be things that you encounter that you might encounter in life too. Like there's going to be challenges and hardship. So, my focus is when I'm coaching is that, okay, maybe learning this skill, you're not going to need it when you're 40 or 50 years old or 30, but you're going to know how to get over something that's challenging, or you're going to know how to get over if you're anxious before a game, because you're going to be anxious when you go on a job interview, or you're going to be, have to speak up in a meeting with a lot of people. So I'm hoping that those skills that I'm teaching them on the field are going to help them off the field.
How do you keep athletes engaged and motivated during practice and games?
Yeah, so I think keeping it fun and then also keeping it competitive, like especially at the varsity level, those athletes really want to be there and want to get better. So anytime we can make practice competitive. I think it makes kids enjoy it more. This past fall, we added a game called World Cup into our practices. So once a week we did World Cup, and our players were teamed up with one of their teammates for the entire season. So they had one partner the entire season, and they picked a country, and then we had a day where it was World Cup Day, and we kind of learned about each of those countries, and it was really fun, and the girls, I think, enjoyed it.
And what was your most challenging opponent to strategize for, and what made them so challenging?
Yeah, so this one in field hockey is kind of an easy one. So it's where I went to high school. Lakeland's probably our most challenging opponent. That's where I went, and the coach that's been there, she's been there for almost 45 years coaching, so she has a long history. So I think when we play those tougher teams, it's really just focusing on what we can control. So when we get there, if we're arriving at the game, we can control how we prepare for the game, and we can prepare how our warm-up goes and things like that. And I really tell the kids not to focus on worrying about the other team, because we can't control them, or the officials, right? We can't control what the officials are doing. So if we let them hold the power, then it kind of takes away from the fun of the game.
How do you decide what position would work best for a player when they're trying to decide field hockey?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So essentially there's the goalkeeper, which is different than the field players. But the field players, there's your basic forwards, midfielders, and defenders. And within the game, those players are all kind of using the same skills. So it's not like other sports where the roles are really different. It's just a matter of on the field what their job is in that game. Is their job to defend the ball, or is their job to try and score a goal? And I think that this question comes up a lot for kids, like, where should I play? And the answer is, it depends on your team. It depends where your team needs you. So like, you might be a really good midfielder, but maybe your team is kind of low on midfielders and we need another defender, and you're the best one for that position, and that's where we're going to put you where the team needs you in certain scenarios. And it could change game to game depending on our opponent and their strengths.
And what are you going to do during this off season to prepare for the next season?
Yeah, I think that the off season is a really important part of the game, and we do a few things. We do Winter League, which is indoor field hockey, and that's different than outdoor field hockey. So outdoor field hockey is 11v11. Indoor field hockey is 6v6, and it's played on like a gym floor, a hardwood surface. So we do that. In the spring, we'll do some growing the game clinics for younger kids, and then we do a summer league in the summer. So we're playing against all the local teams, all the high school teams that we play against in the fall. And I'm a big proponent on kids doing off-season stuff, because it helps them get to know their teammates, and they build a relationship with them, and they can really grow, so that by the time the season comes, kind of all those cobwebs are dusted off and they're ready for the big games.
All right, and final question is, what is your most proudest moment as a field hockey coach?
I think one of my proudest moments was this past fall. With the youth program, we created a youth league for the local towns, and it was one of the first times we had a lot of kids. Each Sunday, we did it for 4 weeks in a row, we had over 200 of our younger kids come and play against each other, and it was really fun. In this area, youth field hockey is growing, and we're getting more kids, but it was really the first time that they had kind of set tournaments each weekend, and they were playing against other teams not from their home school. So that was a really fun moment in the last year that I'm looking forward to doing again this fall.
All right, well, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Benny. Thanks,
you.
Brandon. Thank you so much.